Allow the two
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind. Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk through to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, yo. My ego don't come, yo. My people make we shout, yo. My ego don't come, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, yo. My ego don't come, yo. My ego politico, my ego don't come, yo. This one not the off in mind, my ego don't come, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, my ego don't come, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over Naira. See them talk say, make we off mind. But thank God say, my ego don't come. So my people make you louder, yo. My ego don't come, yo. My people make we shout, yo. My ego don't come, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, yo. My ego don't come, yo. Politico, my ego don't come, this one not day off in mind, my ego don't come, person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my ego, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my ego diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, my ego don't come. So my people make you loud, yo. My ego don't come, yo. My people make you shout, yo. My ego don't come, yo. Mayegun la wa mo la mo dododo. Mayegun diary na ibi number 1. Mayegun la wa mo la mo dododo. Mayegun diary na ibi number 1. Mayegun ti de o ọ̀rẹ́. Hello there. Na ibi number 1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary na ibi number 1. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun live. Oh, Bashe, Adi Mayegun Mawi, Mayegun diary, Mayegun number 1. Oh, si tun shere, wa go nibe o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number 1. Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are watching from. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun is back and live. Read the caption of the broadcast, the description of the broadcasts, share it, pay your offering by liking the broadcasts. We will start soon. Ani esunraki Mayegun ti de. Mayegun ti de. Ojelu esunraki Mayegun ti de. Ani esunraki.
I know that when he becomes the president of this country, he will turn the economy around for the better. So join me to support this man to turn the fortunes of this country around for the better. Join me and support Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president of Nigeria. God bless you. God bless Nigeria.
Oríbú ti kàn yín báyìí o, òṣì ti kàn yín o, ebi ìpọ́ o, epo tún wà àtúrẹ́pọ̀ ló ń bí. Bàbá, bọ́dà kọ́rí búyà sí, fojú yín fọ́ ni. Ìdíkà ráìsì 1 2 1 3. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ ń bẹ̀bẹ̀ ṣé ti pa ni. Ọlọ́mọ mẹ́jọ mélòó ló fẹ́. Sóyè ilé yín ni. Bàbá, ẹ bọ́lẹ̀ ń bẹ̀. Ẹ bọ́lẹ̀ ń bẹ̀ o. Ẹjọ́ ọmọ kékeré ṣe eléyìí pọ̀. Ẹ tú wàhálẹ̀ Tinubu èmi ló kàn. Gbèsè yìí pọ̀ o. Tinubu.
Thank you so much. I have an update on the Labour Party crisis. And for those asking, I also have here with me Peter Obi's press conference where he shared the details of his campaign and campaign fund. Just maybe after this. The Abobakus, the crumb eaters, the crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, ass lickers, and the rest of them. The bad starts, especially. They can ask Kolu to also give account of his own presidential worldview. It will be interesting, won't it? And Atifku. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun Live. And I've got loads and loads of updates for us tonight. And hopefully we'll have enough time to take calls too. So I'm going to start with the news coming from the As Old Rock, the old people's home, where Kolu met with the 36 state governors concerning the hardship that Nigerians are now facing. That seems to be, is already like gathering a storm that could likely take the entire illegitimate regime of Tinubu down. So to save their head, like Bokwari also did at the time, Tinubu called the meeting of state governors to find a way around how to reduce the level of hardship and poverty. According to them, they said that since the removal of fuel subsidy, the states have been collecting huge amount of allocations every month. They've been collecting nearly double what they used to collect before the removal. This was supposed to have sort of reflect in the entire place, but it never did. Pensioners are unpaid, even salaries are unpaid, right? And they said Kolu was now telling them that they should please use the money for you. Also, that the issue of hunger everywhere, that the states should invest in agriculture. They are begging themselves now, right? Please invest in agriculture. And on the issue of insecurity that has affected food production in Nigeria, Kolu was said to have told the state governors that he would now work with the National Assembly in making law that is going to allow states to create state police instead of all these ISBA, Amotekun, and all these ones, around. This was from their meeting, in case if you don't know. All of these are just faboos that will never happen, okay? But we'll let you know why it will never happen, okay? And why the hardship that they said they wanted to curb, just like any other meeting like that, time of a Bokwari, is the same, but don't rush. So they said from the meeting, Tinubu agreed that the states can harm their own forest rangers. Now, that underline that words, okay? Forest rangers. Okay, that means even if you don't have forest rangers in your state, by chance, by law, you are supposed to have one. And according to Kolu, said they should be armed. In fact, you know what? Let the guy who speak for him, let him say it. Then I will take it on from there. Okay? So this is from their villa, right? That Kolu has taken a position on how he believe they were going to reduce your hardship. So listen to this, then I will speak after.
Very short press briefing to tell you the outcome of the meeting that has just been rounded up between the president and the 36 state governors. Recall that this meeting was called at the instance of Mr. President to intimate the state governors about what is happening, what the federal government is doing, and to also hear from the state governors their input about issues of development in this country. A lot of issues were discussed about the security situation in the country, the apparent food issue that the media has also been reporting about, and some other measures that will help in improving the state of our nation. Now, the first point is that a committee, the governors and Mr. President have agreed to set up a committee to deepen the conversation that has happened at the just concluded meeting. Of course, you know that it is impossible to complete most of the issues that were raised at the meeting, so it's going to be a continuous one. Secondly, Mr. President and the governors have agreed that these kind of meetings will continue in the interest of our nation. It is important that all the time the federal government and the state governors, who are leaders at the sub-national level, to continue to engage and interact collectively so that issues of national importance will continue to be addressed and we don't leave room for any speculation or for people who may seize the opportunity to say things that are not in the interest of our country. First, the National Security Advisor, the Director General of the State Services, the Inspector General of Police have been directed to coordinate with the state governors to look at the issue of those hoarding commodities. At this point that the nation requires food to be brought out to the people so that we can control prices and put food on the table of most Nigerians, other commodity traders are busy hoarding these commodities so that Nigerians will suffer or they will make more money as a result. So the governors and Mr. President have taken this decision that security agencies will cooperate or collaborate with the state governors to ensure that this ends. Number two, a decision has also been taken that in the interest of our country, there will be no need for food importation at this point. Nigeria has the potential to feed itself and even be a next exporter of food items to other countries. And we do not also want to reverse some of the progress we have seen in terms of food production in this country. What we are seeing now is just a temporary difficulty that will soon go away. Therefore, the solution to it is by continuous investment in agriculture so that food can be made available to all Nigerians. Of course, you know that Mr. President has declared emergency in agriculture many months ago.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
Do you know why it's? I understand a lot of you who also understood these guys was much irritated listening to him. Okay. Now, consider that as the summary of the supposed meetings with governors. And please be honest to yourselves. Okay. Could you pick up any kind of a motivation, something that tells you that, yes, action is now being taken, it's going to now happen from that statement? Anyway, they said that the closed borders will remain closed, even though you know there is no closed borders for the ones they have given license to bring the same thing into the country. But here is something you should know. For those, the reason why you should never forgive all those older people that told you Bokwari was coming to change Nigeria in 2015. Even if you are so gullible that you believed them, now that you know better, you should never forgive them. During Bokwari's time, they told, they told Bokwari that he should close border so that he will be able to fight smugglers. They said smugglers, those who are smuggling things into Nigeria, they were the ones who were making things difficult and expensive. This was 1984-85, yo. They blamed the economic ruins after, making some ridiculous economic policies that backfired and then destroyed the economy. When they were looking for who to blame, they were blaming smugglers. So, to end smuggling, shut the border, and anybody that is seen with a bag of rice must have smuggled it, is a criminal. You see, when they were shooting people all over Ogun State or your state, custom, it was a replay of 1984-85. Yeah. So to them, to stop price of food from increasing, it is not to invest in local production. It is to go after suspected businesses and people they have kind of, and accuse them of corruption, destroy all of it. So when all of that policy started coming back, backfiring, they were looking for who to blame. They blamed smugglers. When Babangida came in, and he also started his own SAPU, structural adjustment program, austerity. When the whole corruption, the looting, the foolish economic policy started backfiring, you know who they blamed? They blamed farmers. They said the reason why food prices were growing in Nigeria then was because Nigerian farmers prefer to export their food instead of selling them to Nigerians. Not that Nigerians have been economically incapacitated, that they couldn't afford food. They blamed farmers. And what was the solution? Shut the border. Stop your exportation of Nigerian food until Nigeria can feed herself. Nigeria never fed herself until they started opening the borders for their friends, giving their friends importation licenses to flood the market with this and that. Those their friends were also given subsidized exchange rate on dollars at the time, and they became billionaires running the economy and all of that. You know what I mean? Abacha came, brought his own guys, same economic ruins. They too, they were going after, that's how it was. Just target some people. Oh, it was some people who are giving Nigeria a bad name. That it's not because Abacha was killing people that ever opposed him or jailing them, It was because all of you are saying bad thing about Nigeria. That's why Nigeria has been sanctioned. So they used to have people to blame. Do you understand? So in this case of Tinubu, around the time of Bokwari, they now rationed almost basic commodities, sugar, salt, soap. They rationed them to the point that there is only a certain amount you can buy. According to them, that's how to control the price. People who had their goods, they went into the market. They started destroying them because they were selling at expensive rates. All of these are the jackboots. I'll be waiting to call them. Fire brigade approach to where you have economic illiterates, but those who are only experts in stealing and looting without thinking of the consequences. When they look for who to blame, they look for you and they blame you. Many of you have never touched dollar in the last 1 year. You have never touched it like this. But you see these widows that are collecting extra codes, thousands of dollars, millions of dollars a year for going abroad on vacation, going abroad on all sponsored. These guys are blaming you that it is because all of you too like dollars. When was the last time you touched dollar? When was the last time you watching me from Nigeria? But they blame you without telling you that it was because they have opened the floodgate of looting. Anytime Forex enter Nigeria, dollar, pounds, or anything, now to steal them. Immediately, they last. They said IMF gave them $4.5 billion loan in the last 8 years. Baba, the money don't go. They no get account for it. Can you even believe that? Now, the same people will turn around and blame you. You too depend on dollar. We must all learn. We must all try to stop depending on dollar. Àwọn olórí burúkú dédé. So, to Tinubu and co, the reasons why the people are hungry in Nigeria is because some people are hoarding the food. Because they wanted to sell them. It's not because Nigerian farmers from north to south, from east to west, have been attacked by armed terrorists that have been covered and protected by the state for so long, with so much blood spilled. Not because of that. And that's why I said, whatever they say to you, it is all bollock. Nonsense. Nothing is changing except your Sege raising to power. God knows. That's the only thing changing. So if you think there are some enemy who wish Nigeria bad and you are praying for them, for God to punish them, and you are also praying for these rogues, you have no idea that you are praying for the people, the real enemies of Nigeria. I remember when Bokwari, now they are going everywhere now to say, Nigerians are very heartless. This thing that you bought yesterday, I bought it 1,000 naira yesterday. It is now 2,000 kilo day. Why are we? Listen to me. They said that election will never unite you. Sufferings will never unite you because you are all divided along ethnic, tribal, religious, and other God knows lines that you have been, they have built fences around you. But if Tinubu's criminal, Tinubu's a criminal government, they do know that there's something that is likely to unite you. It is hunger. You don't understand. Everyone feel hungry same way. The threats of hunger will unite you. You will no longer ask anybody to come and lead you to protest. I swear to God. You will carry placard. If you are watching me from Nigeria right now, would you be dada? Look at me very well. Whether you are APC or PD. I mean, somebody says something. Okay, I think it was David Undenyi, who said, I think it was around the March, I think it was around March or April 2023. but it doesn't matter anyway. It was before the swearing in of a Kolu. And you know what he said? David said by December, if they swear in Tinubu, by December 2023, majority of those who are shouting Emilokon, those of you who are attacking the obedient left, right, and center, including those of you who continue to tell yourself that Obi will never be your president, by December 2023, majority of you would have turned to obedient without knowing. Is that not happening now? Chekotin Shele. Nobody is going to lead you to protest. Oh, there. You still have money to subscribe, Abi, to come and defend APC, Tinubu on social media. Don't worry. By the time you sell that phone, to now use the money to feed yourself for maybe 4 or 5 days. For example, if you are the type that really like swallow. By the time your own shege hits you, gidi gone, wawa ta phone ye, wa lo fi jeyan, to ba wa jeton, owo to ba ku, you will buy yourself a placard and pen. You will move on to the streets. Owo phone wa fi jeyan.
Èwo nu yín tó kọyọ́ kékeré tó pè ní 200 naira. Bọ́dà mọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ kò lè tẹ̀yìn wọ ọmọ nídìí rẹ̀pẹ̀tẹ̀ yìí. Ìyàn 200 naira. Ilá yóò kúkú le tó yìí. Swallow 200 naira.
Do you understand? When the shaggy get to the point that your money can only buy you to swallow, no meat, you will not ask Mayegun to come back and lead. Why don't you come back here? Why don't you bring your you will lead, including your children. But now gradual. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so they say now from hand, dance they start. You get them? You see all this shaggy, as it is increasing in tempo, you will forget that you even supported Tinubu. You will go naked on the streets when he hits you, and they will send me the video. I will see the video, and I will use you to educate others like you that their own is also on the way. Oh, if they are waiting for Tinubu to turn it around, he's going to turn around soon. God will shame you, Baba. They will send me your video. To buy affected, to buy hit. O ma gbe placard o ni mo nse ni. So they are now they are asking governors to go and invest in agriculture. They are asking governors to go and invest in youth. We need to find something for all these youth, though. We need to do something for them. Oh. Sure, you get, it's becoming too much now. And we don't want all our enemies to use them. Sure, you get, let's find something for them. But do you want me to tell you the truth? If you understand this criminal very well, their only solution to lift you out of poverty is to offer you money. The valueless money. You understand? It is not to really have you or get you gainfully employed. They have no idea of how to create any wealth. Now, if you think I dey lie, Abi, don't worry. Omatota phone, yeah. Sure. Omatota. Ask others. Now, here is something that you must know. The governors are not going to give pensioners money. They are not going to give you, the youth, real job. They are not going to invest in any agriculture per se. Here you get. And not that they actually have the confidence to go back and say, oh yeah, let us go and invest in the forest rangers to protect the farmers. They won't. You see all of this show off and all that. Tomorrow, they will forget that they told you something, the similar thing, maybe 5 months, 6 months ago. They will come back again and say, we have just met, I just met with Kiniko. We just have this meeting now. In that meeting, it has been given. Tinubu has given them the final. Tinubu has given them, order them. They are now asking DSS to begin to open people's stores. Even if you have no real patronage. and your shops have all your goods displayed. Then you have your warehouse elsewhere where you store your stuff. Very soon they break into people's warehouses, accusing them of stockpiling food, stockpiling this. Baba, have you not seen all those stores? Especially if you are from this part of Onitsha, Aba, Kano, Lagos, all those big cities where you see people, big businesses with their shops. You will see their shops here. Abi, no matter how big it is, they have their warehouses where they stockpile times 10 of what they display in their main shops. These criminals are going to begin to break into those places now. While you are complaining that no customer, you are waiting in your shops, no customer, they will tell you DSS has broken into your store, in your storage warehouse. You have been accused of stockpiling food. All of these are going to backfire eventually, and it's going to dip everybody more into the abyss of poverty. But they don't care now. It's called knee-jerk approach. Let them see us doing something. They have started telling, they've told all their banks, few days ago, it's not even months ago, few days ago, they came out and denied that they were going to convert your domiciliary account with dollars. They were going to convert them to Naira. They denied that just last week. They denied it. The Central Bank of Nigeria issued a statement, official statement, denying that. Guess what? Before the end of that same last week, they have already ordered all of the money transfer platforms operating in Nigeria. If anybody send any money, pound sterling or dollars, pay them in Naira. If anybody has money in their domiciliary account, they can no longer pay them in dollars anymore. Pay them in Naira. Remember they denied it too, and I told you, some of you now know better, Abi. Good. Now also, you know when you want to leave Nigeria, maybe for the first time, you need to display your cash. And it is called basic travel allowance. For years, years, that has been the tradition. After you get your ticket, everything, you have to travel with basic travel allowance. Now that has this issue of them scampering and, for dollars, anywhere they can see dollars to mop up together so that they can use these mop up dollars. And one of these days they will say, pound sterling from 2,200 Naira, it has now crashed to 1,500 Naira. Hey, it's working. The economy idea is working. Jesus is working. God, continue. Naira, continue. Then when they finish that dollar, they mop together. People that they expect to be sending those dollars, they will be collecting in those collection points and hand Naira to people in Nigeria. Those people will begin to devise other means. People like me, you are not going to collect my pound sterling. It's not coming into their hands. Never. So that's why I feel sorry for some of you who are still using apps. You get that? All these money transfer apps to Nigeria. Western Union, MoneyGram, SendWave, and all those to Nigeria right now. If you send any money there, you are giving Tinubu dollars, Forex that is dying for. Nigeria crude oil can no longer give them enough dollars. They don't even know how much, Nigeria don't even know how much crude oil they are selling anymore. They don't even know how much money is coming to Nigeria anymore. Do you understand? No dollars there anymore. Today, they also announced in this their desperation for dollars, because they wanted to try and say they are doing something. The same Naira they met at 155 Naira to $1 8 years ago. The same Naira is now over 1,660 Naira to $1. So they need more dollars. Nigerian foreign reserve is empty. Mama pariwo fun yin, I go to tell you. All of these things are what is coming back. You will buy, you see that Big Daddy, I be waiting, they call that big pack Indomie noodles, Eshima running 10,000 Naira. Yes, would you me dada? Look at me very well. It is called voodoo economy. And all of you are seeing it. You can't really pinpoint and say, in the last 10 months, $1 billion, which is less than 1 trillion. These guys have touched over $8 billion in cash in the last 10 months. $8 billion cash. And we are talking about nearly 10 trillion Naira cash in the last 10 months. All this money, where is the money? Where? You cannot pinpoint and say, okay, in the last 10 months, This is $1 billion investment in your power. This is $1 billion investment in this sector, in that sector. Even in your manufacturing sector. They said they want to give all manufacturers in Nigeria, they want to give them, Tinubu has approved, they said they should give them 300 billion naira so that they can help some of them who are struggling to stay in business. Guess what? The people that will collect the money, they will become the companies of the senators, companies of advisors, companies of ministers. They will be the one to collect the money. The real manufacturing sector in Nigeria, now here they go take care of them. They cannot subsidize petrol, but they can subsidize going to Mecca. Have you heard that? 24 billion naira to subsidize going to Mecca. People wey fit afford 5 million naira to say they want to go to Hajj. And people that cannot afford 500 naira say they want to feed. You cannot subsidize those ones. You will subsidize those who can afford 5 million, 10 million naira to go to Hajj. And this pillar of Islam, going to Hajj as one of the 5 pillars of Islam, they said you should go to Hajj if you can financially afford it. In Nigeria, they are subsidizing them. So that those ones can go to Mecca and go and pray for electricity in Nigeria. They can go to Mecca and pray for security, pray for good government, pray for good this and good that. And you know what I mean? All right. So they haven't made any investment in those areas. Everything they have been telling you is that they are working this, we are doing that, it's working hard. And you, foolishly, you believe that. Whether openly or secretly, you do believe that. Owalaye ò ṣe é. Bàbá, ìwọ fún rẹ lọ ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì àwọn ayé ń ṣe mí. Wá lọ ra series ẹ̀. 8 years lẹ máa fi sunkún yẹn. 8 years gbáko. Ẹ máa bẹ ikú. Somebody said that ikú dé. Surely with the level the whole thing is still going, some people go beg death. Better me person even die. Say, oh, they need lost anywhere. Nobody they go anywhere. If you try anything to commit any suicide, you no go work. Drink poison, no go work. Try to japa, they go deny you the visa. You go stay there. And you shall enjoy and reap the fruit of your labor. These are liars. I have told you yesterday. I told you same day before yesterday. I have been telling you this almost every day. And you still don't believe me. You believe them. Right? Now, I'll go to the part where the man they said will never be their president because it did not convince them. It did not convince me. Peter Obi is this or that. You know, for those of us who they keep document of your charade, you. But the man, Mr. Tim Shipu, this one convinced them. And the Sege is here today. And you are now asking others, what's waiting to Peter Obi will do? Oh, the Lord shake fun. Now, some of you are no longer calling people Omali anymore. Hunger na your mate. Ebi wa jẹ́ nǹkan téèyàn fi ebi malakpe. Tebi ba mu ẹ lóòótọ́. If hunger catch you for real. You go to see vision. I'm a read the kuri ni to am a rò pé Ọlọ́run ṣé kò ti dé báyìí. Ikú ti dé ni. Because you once believed that a man that could not even that could not describe himself convinced you. He built Lagos. Time to build Nigeria. Cement don't cost. Abi cement don't finish. Gravel no the water don't dry. Olo shekwe fun. This man convinced you. Olaye oshie.
At the moment running with regards to your identity, with regards to your age. So I wonder if you could provide some clarity on the issues of your identity and age, and also let us know when we can engage with you one-on-one in an interview, hear from you directly as the office holder. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. It's inquisitive. But at the time of birth, I was dated March 29, 1952, and the family record. I didn't think then, that day, I've determined to be.
Now the way that convinced you be that. Opolo is so intelligent. It's so intelligent that they had to pass him a note on about his date of birth. And according to him, when they gave birth to him, that day that they gave birth to him, as a little baby, as a minute or 2 minutes old baby, he didn't think then that he was going to be president or he was going to be contesting to be president. That's what he said, though. And they clapped. I hope you are still clapping. While this one was going everywhere. Oh, that's why sometimes I just don't know. I don't know what drives people when they think they can save and rescue Nigeria. But again, I am not you and you are not me. So I won't judge you, okay? Peter Obi was a multimillionaire as early as in the 90s, so like 92, 93, 94, 95. Oh. This guy was like already a multimillionaire, a banker, investment banker here in the UK. Then he said he went home and he met one of these Igbo leaders. And he was told to, well, people like you are the people we want to come and be governor, to come and be this or that. That was how he got invited. This guy got hated. Like, he's not a saint, oh. Don't get me wrong, oh. I'm not a saint, okay? You are not. It's not a competition of being saint and all that, okay? But for those who understand Nigeria very well, when they put Tinubu, Atiku, and Obi, and you automatically have a problem with that Obi because people said it's not corrupt. And you are wondering, how can they say it's not? How can they say it's not? It's better than this or that? Because you are so desperate of something that will justify whatever other, prejudice you have to defend your Tifnumbu or your Atifku. You went for him all out. And I'm like, man, if I'm a millionaire today, I bet Yahweh, I will come say how they call Nigeria. I want to come and be governor. Shit. That they count my money, my pound sterling in millions. So I will come say I won't come rescue my people. I've been kosher. Which people? So do I have to be governor to help them? That's why I said what drives us is different. And I kind of respect that. But this guy who has seen money, he went to Nigeria, where everybody make a kill for themselves, right? He didn't. But he was hated for that. He will never be president. He said, Kineko. People who were parading Muslim tickets, they were confidently calling him a religious bigot. That was height of the hypocrisy at the time. I'll show you something. Person we no jargon, we no jack, right? Convinced, supposed educated wearies who are today, they are now asking stupid questions on social media. And what is going on, Ashiwaju? Ashiwaju that we know is not like this. Ashiwaju, you need to do something. This is no longer normal. Normal. Emma abnormal. I mean, you brought this upon the people, Abi. That doesn't mean that you are going to change. I'm not kind of thinking you are changing. But somebody where they shout agriculture, and it was clear.
The greatest asset of Nigeria today is the vast uncultivated land in the north. If you put that land into production, it will make a difference. The future of Nigeria lies in the north. In all of the north, there's no plan in which we can use to produce food for Nigeria or for export. When we have all the land that is uncultivated in the north, all I was passing is vast land that can create a future. We have kilometers of land. Niger State, they can feed themselves. And when you talk about the vast land in the north, Niger State is 76.3 square kilometers of land. Just Niger State here. That state cannot feed itself. That state can produce all the rice and everything that we need. 76.3 thousand square kilometers. They can't feed themselves. So forget oil. For me, I'm not going to focus on oil. I'm going to focus on how do we get this vast land cultivated. We're going to put power, money in hands of the young people. We have energetic, talented youth that can change the world. But nobody has supported them. Nobody has cared about them. Instead, they are being called all sorts of names and everything. They tell you, oh, they are doing some one kind of criminality or the other. That brain and energy they are using to do all those things, if you reverse it, they use it for something positive. Bank of Agriculture, Bank of Industry, and Bank of Infrastructure. What are we going to do? I financed one of the biggest rice farmer in this country, Unza in Kano. Ask him, as the banker financed him. It's there. You can go there and see. So I'll call all the bank. All the bank will be shareholders in Bank of Agriculture. Federal government will put their money, all the state will put their money, you will be number one bank in Nigeria and will lend money.
Somebody said, Eno dun ro for. I hope you that said Eno dun ro for, you are not in Nigeria. And if you are in Nigeria, even if you are a Yoruba nation supporter or a Biafran supporter, okay, you have no idea what is going to hit you. You see this mess? Have you noticed that the mess is not discriminating? The people that will end up in Biafra, the people that will end up in Nigeria, in Yoruba nation, they are the people that these criminals are killing slowly. They are the people that these people are demoralizing slowly. And you can sit down there and say, no dun ro for. Here you get, because they are all the same. One of the consolatory, useless statements that some of you actually make, right? God help you. Anyway, everybody is in it now. There is no pretense. You get, people have just found a way of going about it and all that, right? So, if on my own side, kidnapping everywhere and all that, nobody is indeed will confidently say, all this madness going on in Nigeria, I am spared, even if you are living abroad. But you can live in that denial, tell yourself that, give yourself some fancy things that tells you, no, you are spared. Oh, we are protected. We are safer than the rest of them. All of you are suffering it and all of that. Keep saying that to yourself. All right? But when you are by yourself and the reality hits you, probably you tell yourself the truth. Now, going forward, one of the accusations against, against this guy is the obedience, is that if they claim to be different from PDP and APC, if they know they give chishi, like they said, how come that Peter Obi hasn't come out to give account of the money donated to him during the presidential campaign? And I know I've been hearing that a while too. Then, middle of that, another accusation came. They are all the same. Have you heard the latest? Mayegun, the Labour Party people, they have stolen all their money. Now, you see, the fact that some of these things are already in the public space, and some people are already even forming their opinion about them and all that. But on their part, they decided that, okay, just for the posterity and those who might want to keep the record for the sake of, record keeping and all that, they will come out and address all this. Something that APC, Egbekegbe, or people destroying people will rather gaslight you. Everybody knows what broke people destroying people. Now money, Atifku's money, that later defeated them with the weakest money. Delegates here, delegates there, you all know what happened. Abi? Now, you probably are used to that. That's why a lot of people said, if you want to be president in Nigeria, you must have a lot of money. You need billions and billions. That's why you need godfathers to bring in the billions. You need to bribe people. You need to pay them to buy their vote. You need to bribe, all of that is the custom. So this guy breaks the electoral law with like impunity. If you start from those that if Tinubu gave money to, the dollars they paid them, the delegates. Remember that some of them, when they return from Abuja, PDP, APC delegates, when they return back to their state, some of them started building houses. Some of them buying cars. I had the videos. If you check this, go back to the time of their congresses. You will see all the videos of those and how they shared money to these people. So they can't account for all of that. So people are used to that. So that is why they see it as investment. So people actually have to bring stolen money, drug money, all kind of money to back you. Even if you tell people, I want to do this, I want to do that, by the time you realize the blood money, the illegal money that have been ferried into your campaign, you realize that you can't do anything. But if you're actually a drug lord yourself that attracts them, of course, you can't account for such money, can you? So people don't expect them to say, this is how much they spend. But people can easily. You will see them buying cars, convoy of cars, brand new cars, Tokumbo cars, Okadas, here and there, sharing things to people for election. So it was kind of so strange then when we started seeing the same people destroying people, as well as APC, Egbekegbe. Deji Adeyanju was pretty much like still feeling relevant, right? Because he kept saying, even Peter Obi cannot account for millions of, he cannot account for, as if to say, Atiku, that the same Adeyanju himself decided to turn to an enemy to the same Obi that he once praised. I mean, all these are in public domain, right? And from what we heard, it'd be like, say, you obedient, destroyed business. That's why they will never forgive you. Majority of these guys have been waiting that by 2023, it was going to be their time because they are influencers. Majority of them have budgets that they have written for different political parties, including APC. Then from nowhere, you guys just came with, they give shishi, they give shishi. And that irritated people like Adeyanju and even Showore, our own Showore. He has been so much involved in that nonsense too. But, well, like I said, people make their choices. Because, I mean, you live by example. So by right, AAC openly declared all their own expenses, campaign expenses and all of that. They declared them like, So today, from what I gathered, it became obvious that Peter Obi was more or less like, not like in person per se, right? Peter Obi was more or less like a Donald Trump of Nigerian political space at that time. So as people were kind of making contribution and donating money towards his campaign, it was pretty much like, probably like, paying equivalent himself. Because according to them, over 500 million naira was donated to him for his presidential. This is not Labour Party. Labour Party as a party, they were selling forms and all of that to those candidates who want to contest elections, right? And they were collecting that money, but we'll come to that one, Abure. But a presidential candidate in Nigeria in an election managed, and he said, the public raised 575 million naira, pretty much like 576 million naira. And he personally added 800 million naira to the same campaign. He's one of those elite in Nigeria. He's a multi-billionaire himself, right? And how they spend their money, as you have them on the screen. The chunk of the money they took from them for legal expenses alone is over 740 million naira. You see all those legal ones, whether they say they want to collect their mandates. They need to get their mandate back and all that, right? All of that cost them over 740 million naira. But the judiciary eventually did what? So eventually, I mean, they have 19 million naira balance in their supposed campaign account. But word for word, I'll take you to their press conference so that you can listen to their charts, okay? It's part of the chart tonight for the record. So I think here.
I continue to thank you people for your continued engagement and support of what is happening in their country today. Let me start today by most sincerely express my heartfelt gratitude to all those who supported us in 2023 election, especially the youths and first-time voters who sacrificed everything, despite all the obstacles, distractions and everything, to support what we're doing, believing in the possibility of a new Nigeria. Today is the beginning of our financial accountability, especially the crowdfunding managed by a team led by Aisha Yusuf. And she's the one that will do that. We'll follow up after her presentation. Thank you for your support.
So are you following? So that's Peter Obi, a presidential candidate, is supposed the winner of that charade before Yakubu happened. You must never stop saying it. Facts don't lie. Figures don't lie. And that their Supreme Court of Injustice validated the illegitimacy will never still make it legitimate. The reason why we must say this on record, and for the history's sake, our children, they must know Tinubu never won any election to be president of Nigeria. No matter any amount of repetition and other cook-up nonsense to try to validate, it never won any elections. Okay? So let's proceed. And that is why today, I don't think he owes you anything. Everyone around him knows he doesn't owe you anything. His words doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? So he's not responsible for you. But you will find out later, even if you disagree with me. Yes, disagree with me. That's fine. Okay? There is no way he could have won that election. Keep telling yourself that. But there he is, all by himself, to answer all your questions and say, well, yeah, I got supported. There was crowdfunding. I mean, there were crowdfunding for our campaign. And this is how it should be done. If you want to serve the people, they must actually want you. And how do you know they want you? It is when people are not looking forward to you giving them this or giving them that, before they can then say, yeah, you can lead us. He successfully did that. He successfully did that. And now people are beginning to say, you know, competence, character, and credibility are something that even money cannot buy. They have to kind of, it's like self-make, you have to kind of teach yourself that. And they work so well. They work like magic. So the guy said, if you are looking for those who said, I am not coming because I want to come and enrich myself. is a good example of that. Okay, so according to them, from their money that they put together for their campaign, he actually out-donated all of you that donated money for Peter Obi's campaign. And that is what you call real commitment. Every other thing could be secondary. You know that? Now listen to Aisha drilling out what they said they collected and how they spend the money. For the record, too.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, gentlemen of the press. It's an honor being here, standing here, and representing the fundraising team. We had a campaign crowdfunding where Nigerians were asked to donate to the campaign of Obi Baba Ahmed campaign for the 2023 election. Today we are having that campaign fundraising report presentation. Accountability and transparency is very critical and it's very important. And at any time that we ask people to donate and they do so willingly, it's very important for us to come back to them and show them how their monies were judiciously used. The mandate of the crowdfunding fundraising team was as follows. His Excellency Peter Obi gave the following mandates to the team, and that was to raise funding from Nigerians using the campaign's official accounts and ensure funds are judiciously used to support the presidential campaign of His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi. For this particular presentation that we are doing today, we are specifically concerned about the Obi Baba Ahmed campaign, for which there were four accounts that were used. These accounts are were accounts in Zenith Bank, Heritage Bank, Globus Bank, and also Sterling Bank. They were made public by His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, and citizens were asked to donate as generously as they wanted to. At this juncture, we must say we thank everyone that donated in cash and kind. It's not been easy, especially with the kind of mindset we have in this country where we don't think as citizens we are supposed to donate. But indeed, citizens came out and they put their monies where their votes are, and they were ready to use their money and not wait for, as usually we see in our climb, for the candidate to be the one bringing in that money. And for that, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. We go on to the activity and resource report. For donations from citizens, we received 595 million naira, 976,994 naira. This is the amount that were raised in these four bank accounts that we talked about. I know there have been reports out there that there were billions of naira that were raised. Some even said hundreds of millions of dollars. Well, we hope we'll see those monies, and if there are people out there that can help us track those monies, we would want to see them. But what we received specifically was this particular amount, let me repeat it once again, 595 million naira, 976,000 naira, 994 naira. We also received 800 million naira from the candidate himself. And I know some might wonder, how did we know that these monies were from the candidate? How were we able to differentiate them? These were monies that were put in by the candidate that were supposed to be used to pay for the polling agents. So we knew that they came in four tranches of 200 million naira each, and that was what gave the total of 800 million naira from the candidate. We designed a strategic blueprint focused on channeling the movement's energy to support His Excellency Peter Obi and Baba Ahmed's election in collaboration with different support groups. Remember, we had a lot of support groups and we worked together with them. We provided direct and indirect support to over 100 support groups across all 36 states in Nigeria. Also mobilized and supported over 100,000 grassroots organizers across the 36 states in Nigeria. We also deployed media-related campaigns that reached over 11 million people, leveraging over 40
radio stations, community outreaches, and social media. We would have loved to have used television and all of that, but because of our financial constraint, and we're very mindful of being judicious in our usage of the funds that we receive and being able to reach more people. So we limited what we had to just radio. So out of all of this thing, campaign materials worth 268 million naira, 374,330 naira were procured and distributed across the 36 states and also Abuja. Media and radio broadcasting cost was about 16 million naira, 422,867 naira. Election promotion expenses, we had 10,808,948 naira that we used for election promotion expenses. For polling unit agents, we spent 324 million naira, 381,700. And then we had bank charges, of course. The banks didn't warehouse the monies for us for free, and we had to pay 1,750,544 naira for bank charges. We also had administrative charges, which were 477,000 naira. We deployed 744,500,000 to cover legal expenses. And then campaign and election activity, we had another 28,500,000 naira. Let me just piggyback on the issue of legal fees. Remember what I said earlier. We had 800,000 that was brought in by the candidate himself. We did, 800 million. Thank you so much for that correction. We had 800 million that was given by the candidate himself. And so we are supposed to use that to pay. He had about 1.something billion earmarked to pay for the polling unit agents. So earmarked to pay for the polling unit agents. And then when we got to that towards the election, there were some materials, of course, that we couldn't produce. A good number of the materials were produced by most of the producers here. We have the team lead. He will take on that. We'll come to him very shortly. But I just need to give this background explanation. And so some monies came in when it's like a week to election. They have 2 weeks to election. So we couldn't produce any of those campaign materials. And we made the decision that we're going to put some of that monies from the public, put it towards payment of polling unit agents. This is still part of the election expenses, and this is what our citizens had donated towards. So when we did all of that, we found out that the agents that we had, the amount that we had to pay for them, we had such leftover. And so the candidate himself now asked on the way that these monies were paid for legal fee. So that's why you see the legal fee being high up there. So
744 million legal fee. That's the chunk of it, okay? And then this guy added an extra. Maybe you should listen to.
Basically, buttress is the philosophy that guided how we manage these resources. Because it was important that the resources that were given to us, we managed them judiciously and ensured that they delivered on the real reason why Nigerians gave us those resources. So the first thing we did was that we adopted a merit-based procurement process designed to ensure that we get value for money. So we put out a call for vendors within the movement, people who have invested a lot, use their resources to support the campaign without being paid was a major criteria. People who have put so much into the campaign and they were professionals in what they do. We asked them to send their bids, and we had a committee of people who observed several bids. And then we had a framework that we adopted to arrive at the vendors that we used in delivering some of these materials across different areas of the campaign. Then the next thing we did was that we adopted a skeptical approach to fund requests designed to ensure funds are used judiciously. So beyond just people giving us their codes and requests for funds and everything, we asked questions. We were critical. figured out their business structure, how they were running, their capacity. We wanted to ensure that we leveraged resources wisely, and I'm proud to say that, and the team is proud to say that, of the different vendors that we engaged on across different tasks, delivered exceedingly well. They delivered based off of the resources that were given to them. Then we also adopted a framework to ensure disbursed funds were used judiciously. Very important. We want to ensure that when we give resources to vendors, people who worked on the project, that they use these funds judiciously. We adopted that process. Then fund disbursements were made with approval from His Excellency and two other signatories to provide constant oversight. So whatever decision we took in terms of disbursing funds were made with the full acknowledgement of His Excellency and also signatories to the account. So no funds left the account without the approval of His Excellency, so as to provide constant oversight. Now, conflict of interest rules were established to ensure decisions on fund disbursement are made based on value and merit. It was very important to ensure that there were no conflict of interest. So you would find a situation whereby members of the procurement...
It's all right. The modalities of sharing the money and all that. But did anybody notice that, has anyone noticed that the total money they have presented to have been money from the campaign and money spent on their legal cases and all that? Did you see that everything is not, everything is about 1.4 billion naira for presidential election? 1.4 billion naira, and they use almost, they use half of that for legal case in court where lawyers are paid and all of that stuff, right? Baba, even state governor in Nigeria, all these corrupt criminals, they budget tens of billions of naira for them to seize and capture their states. So no wonder some of them having lose out on the expected windfall, election windfall money that all of you obedient came to come and destroy for them. You see why they will never actually really forgive you. Because look at what you did for free. Do you know how much it takes to say you want to be president? Do you know how many people you have to pay? Do you know people you have to, like, I'm talking about big check. Before the chunk of the money, so before the crumb of the money gets to those ones who are like the sellers on social media and all that. But somebody gather 1.4 billion, still pay lawyers, and still gather more than 10 million votes that they kind of denied. Baba. And you are still asking, what Obi go do if he was your president? Anyway, I'm just kind of in your world there, okay? Let's go back to him where he actually had to answer by himself. Like, he needs to answer questions now, including what is going on in Labour Party, which is next to what we're about to discuss. But let's listen.
You're talking about the Labour Party issue. I want us to... process, which I'm sure I'll follow up in due course in other areas, because we've come to the end of this exercise. It is now time to account to those who supported us, be able to brief them. We're also going to commence our thank you tour to express our gratitude and continue in doing the right thing for Nigeria, because you can't just say it's only when you're in office that you're going to do the right things. It is something that you have to do continuously. Thank you.
Okay. You have questions. You came to last time.
Online news portal where we update events per second. Now, this is a very good, I won't say it's transparent to an extent. Nigerians have been waiting, to know, been following up, to know how this money is being expended, especially with the trust they have, this is for Nigeria. My concern is the diaspora contribution. Is there going to be another period where the money is realized, from Nigerians in the diaspora? would also, because they would also want to know if monies came in, how was it utilized judiciously, and to know where further support will come upon. And I believe that that's the next step, because that will be the next conversation that will start happening, because people will start talking. So would like to know monies that came in from diaspora and how it was expended. Very, very great work you've done.
To me, okay. Let me. No?
Yeah, if you want me to.
Okay, let me start. First is that, like Aisha did mention, there's been all sorts of comments and allegations. If one of the people who mentioned said we received about $150 million. Let me categorically state it, that all the funds received directly or indirectly from diaspora is not up to 1% of what is mentioned. And this, some of it are part of what has been exchanged and given to Aisha. We're actually going to go to the various people who supported us in diaspora to say thank you and tell them what was realized. And we've also are going to put an information out there that whoever knows where funds are supposed to have been remitted to help us trace and get that. But know that people are claiming we received about $150 million. And I state here, we haven't seen 1%. And I stand for anybody to dispute or prove that.
Okay, the next question.
Yeah.
In the right direction. But you see, as you are doing this for your campaign organization, what becomes of the party? There are so many allegations. And somehow you have not spoken. Abure, the chairman, has been accused of stealing money. Even Aisha herself was accused. So, what is your comment to that?
What we're doing today is distinct and completely separate from the party and the party fund. We're just dealing strictly with Obidati campaign fund. And I told everybody that whatever we received, directly, indirectly, will be accounted for transparently. For the party, I'm a member of the party, and they have chosen to say I'm the leader. What we need to do in the party, and I discuss it with the leadership, is that we must now appoint a reputable audit firm to audit and be able to deal with the accounting of the party. When I'm involved with anywhere money is, it must be transparently nice. So there's the allegation and counter allegation now that must be thoroughly investigated and verified. And we reconcile it and know exactly what we're doing. That is for a party. What we're doing here is accounting for the campaign. And I'm using the opportunity also to appeal to various support groups or individuals and parties that receive one form of funding to support what we're doing, which we're very grateful, to account to those they receive it from. Because there's some people who supported some support groups, there's some people who, even abroad, who collected money and said they're going to use it to work in the north and everything. We were not stringent that everything you collect must come to us. But we want whatever is collected to be accounted for. And that's why we're appealing to the public. If you think this happened and everything, let us know.
Thank you, sir. No, before you go, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Because I just saw part of the question was also directed at me on the issue of allegation of monies being misappropriated. So the first thing is that every donation that we collected under Obi Baba Ahmed campaign were paid directly into the campaign account. And I can categorically state here, there is no Nigerian, living or dead, who gave Aisha Yusufu a single kobo. Not at all. Even His Excellency that we were doing anything for would not give us anything to collect. He had to pay into his account. So for us, we're very strict. I'm sure you heard what Mr. Century did talk about. We're very strict in terms of ensuring that everything, we're skeptical. We put ourselves on the line and ensure that every dime that was collected was paid into it. Just to give a little bit of an experience, there were some people who wanted to give money directly and I didn't collect. There were some who even reported me to His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, sitting right there. So there is no money, but if there's anyone that has any money somewhere, please, we really want to let them come forward. We love that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Did you hear that? I mean, you don't really need to believe them. But this is called accountability, where you can begin to now dig into what you think, no, that's not true, that's not right. I've got this evidence, I've got that. This is something that your traditional criminal leaders, they would never even entertain, talk less of doing it. You know it. You know them. They don't account to anybody. Now, you see these guys that makes himself so ordinary, Peter Obi, and that is why one Ireke seller in Daura will be beating his chest that Peter Obi will never be president. A sufferhead somewhere in Oshodi is also jumping down and say they will teach Obi a lesson. Because those who they call leaders don't rate them. They don't give a damn about them. Don't give them room to question you. Don't allow them to, you know what I mean? Call their bluff. That's what they like. Unfortunately, seems that's not the style of this guy. And that makes him more vulnerable to many, many attacks. But I think he's used to it, right? Now, here is where he spoke about the Labour Party. What is going on there? Where he said he's already hired a private investigator that is going to look into the finance there. All these allegations are not healthy. If something is wrong somewhere, this allegation, counter-allegation, if they call him their leader, he would investigate and arrive at his own answer, findings, and then help the party. Isn't that also leadership in a way? No? Because nobody talks to you, nobody cares about you that much, right? Now you've got somebody you can put your rage on. Watch this one.
You're talking about the Labour Party issue. I want us to again understand we have two distinct positions. You're talking about Labour Party, am I right? Labour Party account. I don't think I will say, am I right?
Treasurer.
Yes. Yeah, so it is Labour Party. I don't think I waited too long. The election was conducted when? February last. Thereafter, went into litigation, which ended up when? In November. So, I couldn't have been going to court. And after ending that, we're in December, which is when we started even recovering from all the activities of being in campaign from 2022, ending in end of 2023. And we're just in first quarter of 2024. I don't think this has happened before. With any party in Nigeria counting this quick. Tell me one. You know, in Nigeria, we're used to blaming those who want to do the right thing and leaving those who have been doing the wrong thing over the years. We are now accounting immediately within the first quarter of 2024. I remember when the case ended last year, I said, in 2024, we'll spend it going around to talk and everything. And we just started the process. I could have been calling auditors last year. We're now going to call them and everything. And again, like I said, I'm not involved in the party accounting. I'm not part of the party management. If you know how party function, the party is being run by the elected executives of the party for National Working Committee to that, which I'm not signatory. Even the account campaign and anything, I'm not signatory to any. I'm not signatory to any group account. Everything is being managed. The ones people gave me, I paid it into one account or the other, which was properly managed. Because I know there will be a day like this. And I assure you, we will account for everything. That's why we are calling on every member of the public, local, international, and everything, who have a lead to where he thinks these billions and millions we are paid into or given to somebody cash. And I must say, thank you to Aisha, because what she said here is, I've had people who have come to me and said, oh, we went to Aisha to give her this money. Say she doesn't want to take money. Listen, I will always say to them, well, listen, pay for this for us. Pay for. People actually supported us more in kind than in cash. Because we had people who paid for our logistics, transport, flights, this, that, paid. Which we're very grateful. And we're going to go to them to say thank you. But it's important. For the labor one, I've told you how we're going to solve it. We're not going to solve it by saying, she said, he said. We now have an independent person who will tell us which way forward.
Thank you very much.
The second part of it, the second part of it, which is that you are involved in some meetings.
Oh, well, listen. Of course, this year, I've had meetings. I've been in a meeting where she said so, and I directed them. I appealed to them to go and resolve it. I did. I told them, said, please go and resolve this. But today, it's in public domain, and the public, we owe the public as a transparent listen. I don't stay around where issue of funds either mismanaged or embezzled is being discussed. I was governor for 8 years, and I said it when I left that office. I still say it every day. I have opportunity. I left $150 million and something billion naira, which I was known that there's nobody holding gun for me to do that. And that the same thing is what we're doing here.
Yeah, I just want some clarification on this diaspora.
You have people who may be a group of this, they can tell you this group send in maybe $50,000. So it's not the most important thing is for you to understand that the magnitude of the claim, I said, it's not up to 1%. It's probably under $1 million, if at all.
And put together is what you channeling.
No, I said part of it. Because some actually came in kind again. But I would cut as the nation. Some people brought some, they paid, who can say, oh, you're doing this. Why don't you pay for this for us? We're looking for somebody who has done maybe T-shirts for us and everything. People, we had more support in kind than in cash. We had all sorts of various support. We are counting here in Aisha's on his crowdfunding. And he told you what they received, because it is in crowdfunding that people say we receive 200 billion. Yeah. So we want to know the account where the monies are paid into, because people might have opened the account in our name unknown to us. Yes. So we've not given you, so those who paid the billions can say, this money is in this bank, and we'll go there and locate it. Because it's not impossible, the way things are in this country. Somebody must have opened an account in our name or in this,
and I know sometimes that long talk can be boring, right? It's not boring. That's why you are listening to the diary. The diary means all of this will be on record, okay? And if you look back in a year time and you are asking yourself, how did we even end up with this? How did we get here? If some of you are still asking yourselves, how did you get to this stage in Nigeria right now? All you have to do is to go and look some of conversations like that, evidence-based broadcasts like that in the past that some of you felt were boring. Oh, that was boring. Anyway, I wanted to have that on record there, that he came out and he said this and that, okay? And if people have more questions, at least they can now be, you can come clear if you have more questions. I like that. It is called being accountable. Accountability. It is rare in Nigeria, and that is why it's pure much, right? There's another part I'm still going to play for you, and that is where Abure is defending himself. But just before we get to that, we'll come back to the aftermath of, the Bulaba and the Bala Blue economic decisions and all that, okay? Part of this, there's a message that came from their Sultan. They called a meeting of northern traditional leaders, or northern traditional rulers, to discuss the situation under Tinubu right now in Nigeria. So at that meeting, the head of that meeting is their Sultan, okay? Uthman Danfodio's great-grandson. Now, what they now sent out after that meeting, which they called a very strong message to Tinubu, is that with the level of hunger in Nigeria right now, they don't think they can control the people anymore. But I say very soon, all hell will be let loose. So, and I think that was when Tinubu decided to tell everybody that, oh, I just met with the governors, but you need to listen to that message. This was from their Sultan and their emirs and all other Islamic body from northern Nigeria. So the Sege has become unbearable, and they can no longer control their people from hitting the streets. Listen.
Rates and health challenges affecting the region's growth. He urged urgent solutions, emphasizing the need to address youth unemployment.
People are very, very agitated. People are hungry, they are angry, but they still believe there are people who can talk to them. We must find jobs for our teeming youth that are sitting idle. And I've said it so many times, we're sitting on a keg of gunpowder. Having teeming youth, millions of them without job, without food, we are looking for trouble.
The governor of Kaduna State, Ubasani's message was delivered through his deputy. He emphasized the importance of northern states developing a common strategy and operational plans to effectively combat insecurity.
We must establish early warning systems and intelligence gathering mechanisms within our communities. Our main weapon must be people, because terrorists, bandits, insurgents also live amongst us.
Both the Inspector General of Police and the Director General of the State Security Service reiterated their commitment to collaborating in order to address the security concerns of the region.
Security and development are inseparable, but one is a condition for the other to thrive. There is not the issue now.
We will. We are working with, just had a meeting, we will. There is no real strategy to end anything. Only strategy to profit from the problems. That's the only strategy they have. And every time they profit from the tragedy of this whole thing, tragedy, strategy, JD, Teddy, no, it's different. I wanted to say they removed the S and gave you tragedy, because they have no strategy, none. The only strategy is to profit from your tragedies, okay? And as they are profiting from your tragedies, right, bloods are flowing and the economy is nosediving. Okay, so now they are telling Tinubu that some of the people think that they can talk to these people, but people are really agitated. They are angry and they are hungry. In Yoruba, what that means is that being power. Let's go to Sango Otta. I told you, you don't need anybody to lead you on protest. When you hit everybody correct, you will hit the streets. Need the leader. You need nobody to encourage you to do that. Sango Otta, ladies and gentlemen.
Àwọn ará Ọ̀tà ti jáde o.
wọ́n lè bí pa wá lọ́tà o, wọ́n ti blọ́ọ̀kì gbogbo ọ̀nà o, mo ṣe ń lọ bí iṣẹ́ ni wọ́n ti blọ́ọ̀kì ọ̀nà lọ́tà o.
High blood pressure, low blood pressure. Come by
wọ́n ti blọ́ọ̀kì ọ̀nà, wọ́n lè bí pa wá ẹwà wọn rọ́ọ̀tà o, ẹwà wọn rọ́ọ̀tà, wọ́n ti blọ́ọ̀kì ọ̀nà lọ́tà o. Mo ṣe ń lọ bí iṣẹ́ ni wọ́n ti blọ́ọ̀kì ọ̀nà lọ́tà o. Fẹ́ di wàhálà lọ́tà o. Wọ́n ti dọ̀tà rú o. Ní kọ́lọ́tà bọ́ta kó wá sọ̀rọ̀ fún wa kọ́lọ́tà bọ́ta o.
Ògógóró kan ní pọ́blẹ́mù Nàìjíríà o. Pọ́blẹ́mù wa kọ́ máa gbàṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wa o. Owó mọ́tò ti gbé gbogbo sálárì lọ o. Ebi pa wá. Ó máa jẹ̀bi o, ó jẹ́ kúrò lọ́nà. A máa lù ẹ́ sí. Tó ti rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Dá wàhálà lẹ di. Òun ni kò ní sùúrù kó jẹ́ kán lọ. We woke up on the 4th of February to discover that the duty of London for our robotic factory is shutting down.
Did you see that, right? So some of them are protesting that the NAFDAC in Nigeria ban alcoholic drinks in sachet water, right? I'm sorry, sachet papers or bags. So others are protesting that they have no jobs. Others among them were protesting that they were hungry. Wow. It is the situation around there, ladies and gentlemen. As for this woman you heard earlier, it's a different feeling.
Tinubu, oríbú ti kàn yín báyìí o, òṣì ti kàn yín o, ebi pọ̀ o, epo tún wà àtúrẹ́pọ̀ ló ń bí. Bàbá, mo lè kọ́ rí búyà sí. Sójú yín fọ́ ni. Ìríkà ráìsì 1 2 1 3. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ ń bẹ̀bẹ̀ ṣé ti pa ni. Ọlọ́mọ mẹ́jọ mélòó ló. Sóyè ilé yín ni. Bàbá. Ẹ bọ́lẹ̀ ń bẹ̀. Ẹ bọ́lẹ̀ ń bẹ̀ o. Ẹjọ́ ọmọ kékeré ṣe eléyìí pọ̀. Ẹ tú wàhálẹ̀ Tinubu èmi ló kàn. Gbèsè yìí pọ̀ o. Tinubu.
Gbèsè is debt. A lot of people are living on debt in Nigeria now. Their health have taken a hit, like all of them. And it is not even yet, it hasn't even started. That is the scariest part. This whole thing hasn't even started. Now warm up. Because these rogues are not stopping their looting. They are not stopping it. All this cry, all these screams, everything, all of that, they are just drama. When he hit everybody correct, oh, they won't even you won't even need any motivation from anybody to hit the streets. But some people are still finding a way around it. Some of us are abroad, we are still subsidizing some of our family, and our family members are also kind of, most of them are also reaching out to their own friends and all of that. Here and there, we are still funneling money into that economy, as bad as it is. But from what I heard, a lot of people are already cutting down. Some have already, those who, instead of sending money to that place, many have actually moved their family out. This has also reduced the amount of money that is coming in. Day by day, they are making decisions that will continue to stifle it. The end goal is that, Baba, everybody might butter last in it. You understand? Let's quickly go back to Abure that is defending himself. He is accused. The treasurer of Labour Party accused the party chairman, Abure, of siphoning over 3 billion naira money realized from the sale of farms during elections. So it has been accusations, counter accusations, but for the record, because I remember yesterday I had the lady on the screen, and she was very convincing. At a point, she said, Abure came to her house with a bag of money to bribe her as part of her allegations. In fact, she was on Channels Television today. This time around, she did not just make allegations. She was presenting documents. She was kind of, flying some papers and all that, which I believe are evidence of all those money she's been talking about. But the reason why I'm going to share this with you is that I don't know what is written inside what Abure is sharing. The Labour Party chairman guy, the guy that is at the storm of the whole thing right now. Well, he has documents to say all he has to say, and it was grilled in the same studio, which is the Arise News. So I need you to pay attention. Again, it's not to believe him or not, all right? But it's just to give you the insight into what is really going on there. It's very important. Now, take a listen.
You say that Maria Lebeke, who was acting chairman during that period, became signatory what month? Just to clarify. January. Okay, so it's January. Okay, so it's according to reports, she became a signatory in March, end of March to be precise. So just to clarify that you're stating categorically here on national TV that she became a signatory in January.
I didn't get your question. I didn't get that.
You're saying that she became a signatory in January, contrary to reports that she actually became a signatory end of March.
Yes, obviously. I took over the leadership of the party end of March. And I took over the leadership of the party
I'm talking about
on the 29th day of March.
When she became a signatory of the account, when was it? January or end of March?
January. I took over the leadership of the party in March, and therefore she could not have become signatory of the party end of March.
Okay. All right, so that's clarifying that. That's your word against it.
She became national chairman of the party, acting national chairman of the party on the 31st day of December 2020. And by January, we effected change of signatories, and she started running the account. Okay. She ran the account till end of March 2021. And I took over the leadership of the party March 29th. And we effected other changes in the account, and I became the A signatory. So there was no way she could have assumed signatories, or she could. There's no way she would have become signatories to the account after she has been removed from office.
Okay. All right. Just again to clarify, and that's why it's a bit strange. Because what you're saying today is at variance with what Madam Oluchi said when she was here with us. So one person isn't factual with the truth. So what one would have expected would be that in the spirit of fairness, the party would have investigated both claims. Because what she said when she was here on Tuesday was that she didn't co-sign those checks. In fact, she wasn't aware of those checks going out. And what you're saying today is that she was actually aware and that she did sign. So it's your word against hers, and one would assume that thorough investigation.
Let me show you. You see, in law, the evidence speaks for themselves. When I was making my remarks, I showed you of checks here that has co-signed between me and Oluchi Opara. These checks were signed by, this is Oluchi Opara's signature. Last year, June, July, December, all these are the checks, sample of checks that I brought to this studio. I had to print them out yesterday from our records. All these checks I came here with are checks that are signed, co-signed between me and Oluchi Opara. There are some of the checks here that are signed by the three signatories, myself, National Secretary, and National Treasurer, which is ourselves. Some other checks are here that were co-signed between me and her. This is Oluchi Opara's signature. This is her signature, and this is my signature.
Okay, so
these are recent checks.
The timeline in
that
question,
were signed last year.
The timeline, sorry, Mr. Abure. The timeline in question, I'm not doubting that she might have signed other checks. The timeline in question was 28th of February to 7th of March 2021 was what she questioned. Not the fact that she didn't. She said that 14 million was withdrawn from the same account between 28th of February to 7th of March 2021. Do you have any of those checks with you? Because that's what she was. That was what she centered on, not just her signing checks generally.
The reason I'm saying this is that she equally alleged that she doesn't run the party, she doesn't know what is happening in the account. I'm only proving to you that she has come to lie and to misinform members of the public in order to bring us and bring the party to disrepute. She was on this same studio and told you that she never had access to the accounts. She didn't know how the account was being run. And so I came here with a lot of these checks to show to you that she was lying. I have those checks that were signed between that February and March 2021. Those checks are not here. But these are public documents that you can get from the bank. I expected that you also even tell her to provide those evidence. In law, he who asserts must prove. He who alleges must prove. I had expected that you also ask her to bring the evidence to show that those monies were actually withdrawn without her signature. I have come here to show to you checks that are co-signed between us, between me and Oluchi Opara.
Okay. No, bro. Bro, that doesn't seem right. Something is off. something is off. Okay. He probably heard our allegations that she did not sign checks, that money were withdrawn from the party's account at a certain month, from certain month to certain month. This guy, Abure, printed other checks. Yeah. But forgot to print that one. I wanted her to go and print that one and show it to us because it's a public document. Alaye, you printed other ones that she signed. But she's talking about 14 million that she didn't sign. But money was taken out. You jumped that. You're now asking us to go and ask her to present that. Okay, we'll ask her. So, because what can you say now? But I just feel like something is off, right? Here is the other part of it. Please, watch.
Versus Julius Abure. Don't you find this embarrassing? And that you people have disappointed the people who invested so much in the Labour Party, thinking that it will be different from the existing political parties? Those two issues.
Yes, I must state here clearly that beyond just right of reply, if not that there was an insistence that I should reply. Ordinarily, I will get people to do the reply and put all these facts before you. But I decided to come here to make some few clarifications on all of these issues. I've said so very clearly. My lawyers are working by today. Those cases will be filed. Cases of defamation will be filed against Oluchukwu Opara, who came to national television to defame my person and to bring down my reputation. This is very clear. There's no way I could have taken this for granted. Like you said and you rightly observed, this is beyond just a right of reply on a national television. I'm going to take steps. In fact, I've taken steps already. My lawyers are filing today or tomorrow cases against Oluchi Opara. Now, to answer the second question, it is unfortunate, and I found this equally very embarrassing, that it is even those within the Labour Party that are being used to destabilize the party. Were you not surprised at the emergence of Apapa Bashiru, who rose up and simply was working against the interests of the party? Today, you can see the allegations and all the spurious allegations made by Oluchi Opara. And I'm sure this is why the National Publicity Secretary of the party came out yesterday to say it clearly that external factors are using some people in the party to destabilize the party. But this is not surprising in politics, where either those in government or opposition political party who are afraid of the rising fortune of the party, we want to get people within the party to cause chaos in the party. And this is truly the situation, in as much as it's embarrassing to us, but it's a challenge that is before us that we must deal with as a party. And I'm happy that we are dealing with it. You saw the behavior of Apapa and others who attempted, members of the party who attempted to destroy the case of Peter Obi in court, and they took several steps to disparage the party, disorganize the party in the process of that litigation. What does that tell you? That tells you that external hand is involved in this. And this is not also unlikely with the case of Oluchi Opara. She's being used, she's being manipulated, and it's very obvious, it's very clear. And I'm sure that very soon, those who are behind the scene will know, and it will become very, very obvious. You saw what happened to Apapa in the courts.
Yes, sir.
during the court processes.
Yes.
Oh, the people reacted and brought justice to bear right there, because the people saw it clearly. And this is what is happening. Those who have, there are obviously...
Bro, you are going off track, and you're about to sort of implicate yourself. And I'm not going to let my friends here begin to hate you. Seriously, right? I'm not saying there is something wrong here per se, but something is not right as well. Do you understand? So when he begin to go down off and begin, it's pretty much like he's trying to hold on to straws. Listen to me. Somebody said, but it was not the one there between between January and March before he took over. Baba, you don't understand. He doesn't need a lawyer. He doesn't need to go to anywhere. All he has to do first is that if he didn't have all those things, he shouldn't have come to the TV. All he needed to do was because he's now in charge of the account. He's their chairman, right? All he had to do is to print the statement of account, print out all the checks issued around that time. Number one, you won't, normally, right, if nothing is wrong, you won't see his signature in any check signed before he took over in March, like he said, Abi. So what do you have to do? What do you need lawyers for? Print all those things out and give them to the TV station that invites you, right? Let them plaster out those evidence on their screen for everybody to see who signed, who didn't sign. You don't come around and begin to say, why didn't she present them? And all of that stuff. That's where I said something is off. Do you understand? It'd be like Tinubu where they talk to me and present the certificate of the school he went. And he hired lawyers. So when they decided to go to the school he claimed he went in America, he also went to America and hired lawyers to stop them. What was he hiding? Then he came back to Nigeria and said, if they accuse me of this or that, they should present evidence. But you are in court in America to stop the evidence. I don't think if anyone has anything, like if you don't have anything to, you just you bring that first. Okay? And then you can now say, I am going to sue because I understand that all these things is just an effort to defame me. So I'm going to sue her for defamation of character. But listen, these are what they deny. They told you here this, Tabi. Now, take a look at all these documents. I couldn't have go back and forge them for you, could I? And Freedom of Information Act allows you, media, to go and verify if what I'm presenting to you is real or fake. Now, they came here. You entertained them for some minutes or hours here. Now, this is what they came here to tell you didn't happen. Now, take a look. You've cleared the hair. After that, if you now say, I'm going to now fight them, because I know they are doing this on purpose, a lot of us will understand and say, oh, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. But like you, they tell us, say, person will accuse you something, must bring evidence. Meanwhile, you brought some evidence yourself to come and debunk the allegation, but you left some out. You're going to tell us, we'll go ask her. So, and then you begin to talk about Apapa, how people beat up Apapa in court. Baba, you are not Obio. Sometimes we need to kind of tell some of these guys, say, even Peter Obi himself, the guy will get all the grace where they cause this whole distraction and all that, instead they see caution. So Abure, you know, be Obi, nobody go beat anybody because of you. All you have to do is what? Give people reasons why they can identify those that they send to come and tarnish your party. People believe you are all the same. And that's why a lot of obedients are saying, they should have independent candidates. They are so confident in Obi that they believe that all it takes is just for Obi to be president. Things are not going to be, it's not going to turn around overnight, but naturally, as a law of Kiloman Pekini, you know, something like a societal order, once you know that the person where they are above with such power, you need to be careful around him when it comes to money and all that. That alone can just trickle down. It won't erase all those criminality and corruption, but it can actually send something out. It didn't take Nigerians, it didn't take them more than a month or two to realize that the man they said was coming to fight corruption, Bokuwari, was actually the most corrupt man. It didn't take them long. Others were just doubting that if they were right or wrong. 8 years after, you know better. Here you get. So a lot of people believe that, and obedient, you can't change their mind. If they have their way, all they want is just to be president. Everything else will take care of itself. If he has to run on independently, without labor, without PDP, without any of this, they are fine. Just don't compare yourself to Obi. If you are one of those his disciples or those benefiting from it. One man work from Abure. That's what I heard on the streets. So you know. Because my time is so far gone, and I want to take calls tonight. I want to take calls. You know, so Mark keep that time, but Mark go make myself another cup of tea. Okay, my tea is almost empty. So when I get back, listen, if you are still watching this, remember, like the broadcast, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video, okay? Share it. And you can also pick up your phone all right, to also call in and contribute to the entire conversation tonight. Anyone that catches your fancy, I will be back. Don't go anywhere. Thank you very much, everyone. My line is open for everyone who might want to call in and then be part of this tonight. And I bet I do have my first caller on the line. Hello there.
Hello, Maya. Good evening.
Oh, good evening to you. Is that Charm, right?
It's like this, my voice is, it gives me away.
Easily. However, how are you doing today, ma'am?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine, thank you. I'm going to go straight to the point.
Please.
Because there are a few things that, like you said, you can pick up on which area you want to talk on.
That's right.
And sometimes I really hesitate because I know a lot of people are like, oh, Abure doesn't sound convincing and this and that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not an Abure fan. I don't follow him, right? But I'll always err on the side of caution. And sometimes I say, oh, to be a fly on the wall. Now, me and you, we're not flies on the wall, we're not there. We can't say for a fact that such and such didn't happen or such and such happened. It will always be his word against her word until such a time as they produce some documentation to support their allegations, which both of them haven't done, right? So I'll always, like I said, err on the side of caution. Now, doesn't it look suspicious that it's at this point in time you're hearing all of this in the Labour Party? Like a couple of days ago, you talked about some guy who was talking about how they need to investigate the party for some funds.
Terrorism, insecurity. That they were using money from Labour Party, to fund terrorism. That's what that idiot said. Araban idiot.
Okay, that's Araban. Okay, so he came out and said that. Tried to also rope in Aisha Yusuf. Tried to also say
TV and other names. He dragged them into it.
and drag them into it, and then single out Obi and say, oh, we're not talking about Obi. Now, those things that you can pick up and say is suspicious. I feel that they are still trying to target, and this is my own opinion, they're still trying to target Obi through Labour Party. Because even if at the end of the day they decide to do an investigation, there is no way they are not going to rope him in. I still think that there is some kind of fear with regards to the kind of traction that Obi has, right? That even if he decides on his own not to fund his next election, if he's interested, right? People are willing to put in their own money to see that he runs again and hopefully wins. He has that kind of appeal. A lot of them, Bola Tinubu certainly doesn't have that appeal. Neither does Atiku. Atiku is not as visible as he ought to be in the political spectrum at the moment, right? So it's really between the popularity or lack of popularity with regards to BAT is, they feel that Obi is more popular. He has a lot of people who are, looking to see that he does become president.
Yeah, he remains kind of politically still formidable, a threat that they couldn't put out.
And they couldn't put out, and he is not going. It doesn't seem like his popularity is waning. And in fact, his popularity is also going, way past Nigeria even. You're talking about Ghanaians, most of West Africa, they all seem to be obedient, right? So, which is why I also found, I think, the calculated move on Obi's part to come out and, give account of the campaign fund, because there's no way you can now pin anything on him. He has told you this is what was spent, and he has somebody who is also as transparent as he is, Aisha Yusuf, who was the head of his campaign as well. So I feel like this is a calculated move. And if I were be, I would run as an independent, because Labour Party, for all intents and purposes, is not useful. There's just too much baggage with the party. There's always one thing or the other coming up. So I don't think there's a point to him actually carrying on. Either he runs as an independent, or he sets up his own political party, which we know will have national appeal, because he doesn't do things in half measures. He does go around, and we have evidence that he did go around the country, to campaign for his votes and everything. So I think, like a lot of people want to talk about, these things, and I just feel like we can't say for sure. And I always say, you don't know everything, because you were not in the room when it happened. Okay, so you weren't there, so you can't say for a fact 100%. It may sound like a lie, doesn't mean that it's a lie. It may sound like he's not like convincing, but
or not convincing enough. But exactly. That doesn't make him. I get that. But Obi said he's going to do something. He's already doing something by bringing in independent investigator. That means the story is not ending anytime soon. Cham.
No, absolutely, and I don't think it should end, because even if he's going to go ahead and float another political party, even if he's going to go ahead and run as an independent, he has to do so. I feel like if you're going to have closure, right, you need to do all of these things. You need to show that you can be accountable, and you can also make every other person around you be transparent. So it's good that he's going ahead to do this investigation, because that way, once the investigation is all said and done, and what is right, what is wrong, and whoever is responsible is held responsible, he can walk away knowing that, okay, that door is closed, or he can move ahead knowing that door is closed.
And the other one is that, it will probably make it even difficult for him to be roped into any scheme that is going on behind the scene as well. He's more or less ahead of them right now, doing the probe himself and coming clean. And if you have any questions, you can easily ask now. Which is brilliant.
Listen, if that man was a chess player, I don't know if he's a chess player. He's a grandmaster.
No, he's a smart guy. Yeah. Because he looks ordinary. It makes things look so ordinary. But just because you are thinking in that perspective right now, and I have to go that direction with you, and it's making a lot of sense, right? To say we have heard some snippets of things, accusations here and there. The highest of them is to link them and their money to terrorism. And we all know what Nigeria is today. And we all know how these guys also act. It's a matter of time before their media begin to say, oh, they said they are the one funding terrorism now. So it will be difficult this time. You are right, Charm.
Absolutely, it is very difficult at this time. And I also want to go back to something that you talked about yesterday, right? Regarding, yes, I will make it quick. Regarding Emefiele and how the BBC have picked that story up to make it seem like, he was responsible for most of the, the corruption or whatever that went on in Buhari's government. And again, they're clearly
BBC simply just said Emefiele forged Buhari's signature. That's what BBC practically said. And they therefore they have declared some people wanted. I mean, it's mental, right?
Yes, but the point I'm trying to make, with regards to this is how quick the BBC have picked this up, right? So you can know where our problems are. We always seem to think that our problems are solely ours, but they're not always solely ours. We also have external forces which are problematic. And before anybody who, on the platform decides to talk about, okay, I'm not talking about us being one Nigeria, right? You have to stand for something. You have to stand for truth. Where truth is something is right, you call it out. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't go our separate ways, because I feel like we should go our separate ways. Each region should prove themselves, and if we want to decide to come back together as a country, then it should be under different terms. At the end of the day. But I want us to understand that our problems are not solely ours alone. It's quite complex, and we have external forces which don't want to see this continent move forward. So let me rest there.
Anyway, Charm, thank you for pointing that out too. Okay, I'll take another one. You have a wonderful day there. Okay, so because it's afternoon in the US, I have another caller on the line. Hello there.
Hello, Mayegu Baba.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Mayegu Baba. I'm fine. This is Anthony from Lagos.
Anthony, my brother. I was looking at that name. I was like, is that Anthony? Well, you see. How are you today, Baba?
I'm fine, sir.
MVP, most valuable people on earth, surviving Sege of Kolu.
Oga, this one don't pass surviving.
Really? Tell us.
Last week I just say let me go and visit my uncle in Ijebu to go and see whether I can get a plantain or get anything. Baba, Ijebu is as empty as anything. Ijebu is as empty as anything.
God damn it, man.
I even discovered that we are enjoying in Lagos.
Yeah?
Spaghetti in Ijebu is 900 Naira.
And in Lagos?
900. In Lagos is 750, 800, and it's 900 in Ijebu. Congo of Gari in Ijebu is 1,000 Naira, and two and a half is rubber paint, and we are buying rubber paint 2,000 in Lagos. So if you look at it, they are suffering in Ijebu. Anything outside Lagos is suffering.
Hey.
Anything outside Lagos, where is 700 Naira, 650, 700. Once you just cross Lagos, you're on your own. So, and I read on the news this evening that the governor of Borno State released over 160,000 repented Boko Haram that he believed they will not go back to terrorism again because they are sworn by the Quran.
By the Quran, I saw that too.
It's a breaking news. And I tell my friend, I said these are the people that we said they are ready to fight insecurity. So they are not ready.
That guy, they are appointing that guy to be president of Nigeria too. That Borno, they were saying, he's one of the best governor in Nigeria. Oh, man, I don't want to be part of that.
That is the anointed candidate. That is the anointed candidate. As me and you, as we are speaking, that is the anointed candidate.
Hey,
that Zulum is the anointed candidate. How can you tell me that Boko Haram can repent? Say they are sworn by the Quran that they will not go back to it.
You know what people are now saying, Anthony? They said, why don't they just take take the Quran to the prisons in Nigeria and ask all the prisoners to swear by the Quran and let them go?
Yes, so that they will release. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, and somebody stole a pot of soup in Ondo State and he was remanded in prison today or yesterday. Yes, that one was at least that one was hungry and he went to steal the pot of soup. That one was hungry actually.
Murderers, kidnappers, rapists, and all these jihadists are swearing by the Quran. We're not going to do it again. Inshallah. I say yes, we believe them.
There is no end in sight to Nigeria issue. The issue is the solution to Nigeria issue is break up. There is no if you want to break it into 10, 7, 3, break it up. There's no end to sight. If you look at it, once the government come in with one policy today, it will drag until 4-5 months. Another thing will enter. They'll forget about that
when
one.
You begin to feel like say you don't get used to that one, or you are about to escape them, or they go add another one. You go scream and you say, now we no go get peace in it. Then you begin to get used to it again and again. For Nigerians to get used to this your Naira change and all the wahala that followed it. A lot of people believe that Nigerians can endure anything. That Naira change of Naira.
That refinery that they are using to sing and making us feel like it's going to change everything and all that. Now he's going to export the fuel now that he's producing.
Not just
he wants to be importing the crude and
importing crude oil from America
with dollars.
Brazil.
Yes.
And Nigerians are waiting for Dangote refineries that is going to crash the price of petrol. Well, there is no end in sight. You have said it all.
No, it's to break it up.
Bless you, Baba. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
You have a good one and stay safe. Hey. Let's stay sick. I have another caller on the line, by the way. So give me a second. My caller, I want to appeal to my viewers. Listen, if we were over 2,500 at some point earlier, and we could only get I couldn't even get half of you. Half of 2,500 should be 1,300, 1,250 to pay their offerings, right? So you can take a minute and do that. I don't know why I have to keep saying that anyway, but I think I have to. Some people don't see it as anything, but it is something. Like the broadcast, share it, and listen to my caller. Hello there.
Hello, Michael. This is Adiola speaking.
Hey, brother. Adiola. How are you, Baba?
Baba, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm doing very well. How do you doing?
Well, I'm very well too. It's good to hear from you. I've seen those efforts of you trying to get in touch for a while, but it just never happened. So I'm glad you can make it tonight.
I'll probably just spend some few seconds to quickly address the last time I was on the program.
Go.
One guy, the guy that has little understanding and giving to personal attacks, decided to attack on your program. Person that is void of understanding, and I can't even waste my time on that kind of person that thinks gambling is the way forward. There's gambling harm. The NHS spends billions every year on gambling harm. So let's drop it there.
I remember that chat. That was the last time I spoke to you, right? Where you were raising awareness of gambling and all that.
He's giving to personal attacks. A country whereby 3-4 years ago had a fragile middle class, and you now introduce gambling into that mix, bro. Are you thinking? Are you thinking at all? Do you understand what gambling is? Do you think? You know what? Let me just park it there. Let me park it there, because for me, gambling is a bit emotional, because the piece of work I've done in the past year addresses gambling harm in the UK. Extensive studies on it, so I understand what I'm talking about. That guy doesn't have any wisdom, no understanding, nothing. So you don't come on this program and be pushing a narrative that is void of understanding. It's given to personal attacks, but rather than intellectual rigor, to think things through and look at companies that operate on these things and see how they prey on people. So let's pack that one aside. A few years ago on this program, I made it, I mentioned that poverty is a driver that would halt this system. But people say, oh, are you sure? It was, we don't have to do anything. This system will come to a grinding halt. So there's nothing my ego can do. He has said it ever since time immemorial. You cannot keep on, running in a system that is enshrined by impunity and expect something to come out of it. So if you take all the money that is meant for huge investments and you personalize it, the returns cannot give you anything that will bring prosperity to that nation. So that is case closed. So poverty is the correcting tool. I said it a while ago, even when people ask me what's going to happen, I said it's poverty, because it is inevitable. if you keep on doing a certain thing, the outcome would come. Now the chicken has come to roost. Saw a rise news today whereby people were queuing up and were being beaten for 100 naira loaf of bread.
We shared that on this platform last night. They were queuing for bread, Baba. Bread,
and there was Yoruba line and
Hausa line.
An Hausa line, but no Igbo line.
Some people were abusing me because of that. Why are you saying no Igbo line? It's what I saw there. It's what people who made the video said. We all know that nobody is spared. Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, everybody is affected right now, okay? But from the video we saw, physically, if they say everybody was there collecting it and they are beating them, well, fine. We'll say Nigerians were there. Nobody, you can't just say Yoruba or this or that, right? Almost specifically, they were saying Hausa line this way. Yoruba line this way. They were even still being bigoted when it comes to helping the poor. Yorubas here, Hausa here. We saw that in the video, and you are abusing. You want to attack me for saying what I saw, not because of what we can all see and what was happening in our front. I saw it too, Baba. Hausa line, Hausa line, Yoruba line. These are like on real time, man.
One director of a I think a year and a half ago, I met a director of a company, a white guy. We had a conversation. He distributes medical equipment in Nigeria. It's a huge company. It's a blue chip company. So by chance, we spoke. I said, "Oh, your accent, you're Nigerian." He said, "Yeah, Nigerian." And he told me the name of his company. So because of confidentiality, I won't mention the name of his company. They distribute medical equipment. Yeah. So that was a year and a half ago. I said, "Excuse me, sir. Exit Nigeria now." He said, "Oh, what do you mean? You don't cast. You don't cast. You have to exit." I gave him all the drivers for the reasons for that. Has he put exit as part of his plans? He was shocked because he's an older gentleman in his 50s. People that made money, those white upper class guys. And I told him the reasons why you need to exit because, man, this stuff is going to go down. And if you look at it critically, a lot of blue chip companies are living day by day because they cannot. They cannot.
Nigeria, some poor Nigerians are still saying the poor are getting poorer, the rich are getting richer. That belief, you do know, educated people are saying it now. That the poor are getting poorer, the rich are getting richer. Even your acclaimed rich men, those ones will get small business to shoot, Dangote, all of them, they are losing money. They are losing their wealth. And they all will lose more than half of their wealth too. But we're working about my crash, Adiola.
The best way to describe this is I'm not sure if you view all those ancient architecture of Rome, the Pantheon, how they've broken down it is. It is emblematic of what Nigeria is. It is a broken down city without walls. You can come in, can come out, can come in, can come out. It's a broken down city. You can bring in guns, you can bring in weapons, there is nothing. There's nothing. When you go to Greece and you see all those old relics of those theaters,
monuments,
broken down walls, monuments. Exactly. You can go in and come out, go in and come out, go in and come out. There's no wall to stop you.
There's no guard.
City without walls. It's a city without walls. It's broken down. They have destroyed it. What they should have done. You can't keep on looting and looting and looting and looting and expect prosperity. It's not possible. So we are witnessing the gradual halt of that nation. There is nothing you can say. It is the effects of it. You have to look at the effects of what they've done.
They have done.
We are now looking, and they are still doing. So we are not preaching doom and gloom.
No.
We're only saying that you have come to what you've done. That seed you've sown, that seed of impunity, that seed of corruption, that seed of looting with reckless abandon. You have bigotry. You have come to sin it. So, Michael, this thing on this topic, we've been saying it for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years ago. Now, there is the new one that we need to start saying, the new revelation for the next 4 or 5 years.
Tell us.
How are we going to now, because when everything comes to gradual halt, everybody that Nigeria supposedly owes, the question will now be, was Nigeria a real country for them to, so who will now take all those debts? Because I am the one who want to finally pay down. Everybody go where they go. We now look, okay, all the liabilities and all the assets, where does it go? It is litigation that will solve this Nigeria problem. It is litigation that will solve it. Because when everybody say, let us go. We now share all the liabilities, and we now start saying anybody that borrowed money on behalf of Nigeria, go and meet them. because that money did not enter the country. So it will be litigation that will solve it. And lastly, maybe for just to touch on Peter Obi, I think Peter Obi needs to understand that this movement is bigger than him. And I don't think his role should be a role of him trying to run for election. His role should be a role of liberation. It should be strategic in making sure it is liberation we are after, not him trying to say, okay, Labour Party, oh, no. This thing is bigger than you. This is freedom. This is black people's freedom. This freedom will empower every black person. Because Nigerians, in quote, right, can help to liberate the black man. So you should see it from that lens that, you know what, whatever role I'm going to play from now henceforth, it will be for liberation.
Not to be
Baba, I
president
submit.
and leave the rest for
Baba,
posterity.
that's a small deal. You see, the bigger deal is if Peter Obi goes down in history as one of the figures that made sure there was liberation for Black Africa, then that's a bigger deal
bigger
to
than
get.
being
Rather
president, then, right?
President of a country is broken down, a country whereby also politically irreparable. So he should decide, he should choose what he wants to do. Because when he went to Ghana that time for that talk with Lumumba, the rest of them, and they stopped it was a strategic move because Ghana was instrumental pre and post independence for so many African countries. Everybody came to Ghana, from Martin Luther King to Malcolm X. Everybody congregated in Ghana with their former president in Ghana. What's his name again? Kwame Nkrumah. He was a strategic partner for a lot of African countries. People looked up to Ghana at that time. So he should see from that lens.
Let him stand in their Freedom Park and make some political statement or freedom statement. So they had to stop.
Peter Obi should realign or align himself to the liberation of Black Africa, not because you are chasing a small title called Nigeria, a title whereby they bastardized. Baba, good night, sir. Enjoy.
God bless you. Adiola, you never miss. Bullseye. Boom. So I have another caller on the line. I hope I got you. Hello. Okay, I didn't. Now try it again. You never miss. I hope I get you now. Hello. So I have another caller on the line. I hope I got you. Hello.
Hello, Maego.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
You might need to mute that broadcast or go to another room where it's not going to be like interfering in our comfort.
Is it better now?
I think it is. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. It's my first time on your program today. I'm making calls through on your program, actually.
God bless you.
I've been a good follower of this wonderful platform, and I must commend your effort in educating people. Most of us who are here in the UK, we really, really appreciate you. I just have one very important thing to talk about, Maego.
You have the floor, sir, please.
Yeah, it has to do with most of our people that recently jackpot to the UK and maybe some other places. Right. I would expect that some of them that, of course, left Nigeria because of the hardship that these politicians brought upon them. When they have got to places like this and they are seeing what we have on ground, the kind of system here, the kind of life they are now, relatively enjoying. They should be able to join force with people like you and let us continue this mission to liberate Nigeria. Instead of that, what I keep seeing, it will surprise you, is that they are now forming groups that will keep supporting the same politicians in the UK. And I don't understand, So
they left Nigeria, but Nigeria did not leave them.
It did not
I
leave
have been
them.
working on people like that for years now, sir, right? I have succeeded to some extent, and I have actually not succeeded to some larger extent, sir. Because you see, the problem is that you can take people out of the debt. You may not be able to take the dirty behavior out of them. And that could actually be the problem, not taking them out of that debt in the first place, okay? So you see, psychologically, Nigerians are not, I would say some Nigerians are naturally very selfish. Do you know that?
Absolutely.
Right. So if something is not happening to them directly, right? It's none of their business. In fact, even when horrible things are happening to them and they are the victims of that same rotten system, some of them pray to be able to get above it so that they can look down on their mates who remain in that pit.
Yeah.
So jackpot to some of them is just some, it's like a societal upgrade. I now live in the UK. So I can now talk to those ones I left in Nigeria and tell them about life and make myself feel very important by telling people who you left, place you ran away from, sir. You are telling them Rome was not built in a day. They should give Tinubu a chance. Why did you run then? So it's a big problem. I know about it. I'm glad you also do.
So my ego, the second point I would like to speak to has to do with my very great man. Of course, I'm a Yoruba man from Oshun. But my very great man, Peter Obi. Peter Obi gave me hope last year, but that hope was dashed by those same criminals that we have in the system. But we are not going to give up on Obi.
Right.
And I will do everything possible to keep supporting this man. Whether he's going to form a different party or it will continue with this Labour Party.
So you are actually obedient to the call.
I'm obedient to the call to any level.
You will be involved.
I will be involved.
I see.
If Obi leaves Labour Party today,
that's you. You know something, sir. You know something. I do read a few times some. As we have Yoruba bigots. Like I said, that an average Nigerian is selfish and bigotry kind of run in our blood until a lot of us are beginning to realize that we need to re-educate ourselves. Some of those things that made us bigots, right? They were social conditioning that doesn't really align. In fact, we are all victims of a rotten system. Nobody should have any prejudice against anybody in that contraption. But we were raised to have those prejudices, right?
Absolutely.
But nevertheless, I have seen, despite the actual fact that shows that even when the Ohaneze Ndigbo denied Peter Obi, Afenifere Yoruba leaders, they carry Peter Obi for head. Everywhere. Yorubas were actually, do you know this, even though majority may not agree, do you know that this Peter Obi thing, that some people are trying to turn to Igbo, this Igbo, that is actually Yoruba project to start with. Yorubas who said the power must come to the south, they said if it's coming to the south, it will never be a drug dealer, a sick man that we know very well. That is not the best Yorubas have. Now, Yorubas push to the point that, Baba, you know Alimosho now. Alimosho local government in Lagos is the biggest local government in Nigeria at some point, right?
That's where I was born now.
They beat Tinubu in Alimosho, they beat APC in Alimosho. Who are those in Alimosho? Yorubas now. Tinubu was beaten in his own house, in front of his house, at the back of his house. They beat him in Lagos.
My brother, let me tell you this.
And somebody will say Yorubas are the ones who brought Tinubu upon them.
Let me add this to what you're saying.
Please.
At some point when I was in Nigeria, in that same Alimosho, I was interested in, bringing about some change. So I joined. I don't like Tinubu right from my days at LASU. So, of course, I joined PDP. And then I was thinking from grassroots. Let's start from there. My brother, I got to know eventually that most of the PDP leaders in Lagos are on the payroll of this Tinubu in Lagos. So nothing can happen to any election that will make PDP to win any. So what Obi achieved in Lagos, my brother, I must tell you, I'm really glad. I'm still glad to today, and I'm forever grateful.
It demystified him. It sent them into panic mode, Baba. We've witnessed all of that. Now the same people can't brag today. We will teach you a lesson. Lesson.
Baba. So let me round off, my brother. With this poem I composed right when you were showing some of these, just for people who are probably literature inclined among our listeners. Right. Yoruba Ronu's lament, like the wife's lament. Let Anglo-Saxon are woes. The nameless wife falls in love. The love deluge sweeps away. You would think love comes from the cosmic realm, but no. Our foes, not strangers. Our love's folk afflict her. She cries for her love to return, whose national duty to a foreign land taken. She seeks him for refuge, to salvage her from this wreckage. At last, she meets her love again, but he is now like his folks. He torments her more. She cries and seeks refuge under some strange trees and cliffs. How do you want nature to save you when your love denies you? Nature is not monstrous as she describes her. She wants her to learn. The wife will likely turn to the creator of her, of all, and he will smirk at her sorrow. For her, sadness is self-imposed. Her parents warned her before she courted him. They suspected he was much like his family. They love to afflict. We, Bayegun, you, me,
Yes,
those
sir.
of us here, we, our family members, we tell our tale in full. Even if we are exiled like the seafarer, or we find ourselves among the ruined. Thank you very much,
God
Bayegun.
bless you and God bless your mind, sir. Thank you
Amen,
so
sir.
much. Okay, you
Yeah.
have a good
Bye,
one, sir.
sir.
Nice one.
Bye.
So that's a brilliant submission there, and I'm so grateful that people actually take their time to ensure that the quality of the information they will share with us here are quality enough to get us thinking. You have no idea how grateful we are if you are one of those who always feed us with all this, all this info, so to say, helping Mayegun to make to eat the message home. Now I have another caller on the line. Here, hello there.
Hello, my good general.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, Baba. You?
Well, I'm very well. Oh, thanks for asking.
Thank you, Baba, for the Tukano mic.
Prince, my own prince. And it's good to have you too, Baba. How is everything?
We are cool, Baba. This is Prince Jajama representing IPOB for life.
For life, Baba. So it's your turn, so to say. So yeah, you will look on. Go for it.
Yes, Emiloko Halale. You see, Baba, in this our matter, you see the matter of Labour Party. What would they shook mouth today? Waiting, I want to tell our OB, our Saint Obi. Waiting, I want to tell her, Saint Obi. So when I want to tell him and the whole Nigerians is that first of all, somebody will first of all get the land before you talk of to put a crop on it or even to put mat on it. You understand? There is a proverb. You see, Obi have an excellent program, excellent manifesto and everything. But what we want to tell him, on which ground are you going to plant this year wonderful seed that will germinate and bear olive seed and tree and everything? Is it on the land of insecurity? There is nowhere in the world that insecurity you will go and invest and you think that it will germinate on that kind of land. Stony and rocky ground. These are the things our people should know. You see, Baba, we'll be just running around. Obi to me is a distraction, and everybody. Omoyele, thank him for his wonderful grammar and intellect also. But all of them, to me, that participated in 2023 election, they are all the distraction because they know that Nigeria is not a country. It's a place run by gangsters. How can you participate in the business of gangsters and at the end you say that they rig you out? You see, because you have been on this platform, Baba. You have been shouting for years and you have your own grant. You have been telling everybody Nigeria is a scam. And you are on it. You are not shifting grant. Now they can also have been shouting, sensitizing everybody. Today, we can see everything happening. Every day is unfolding. Okay? The thing I want to ask the Nigerians to know again is this. You see Zolum that is recruiting
Borno governor, yes, Borno.
repentant Boko Haram.
Exactly.
You see, the Sultan said today that Nigeria is sitting on a keg of gunpowder or something like that. They knows what they are planning, Baba. You see, all this repentant Boko Haram are all machinery from Niger and all these countries that are now remove themselves from ECOWAS. You understand?
The Sahel
And Nigeria
countries
Nigeria is going to fight war that they are going to lose, and they must enter that war at all costs. Because when they are going to fight that war, is the Boko Haram and the army that they repent will be killing Nigeria army, not even the people from Niger or Burkina Faso that have left ECOWAS. You understand? This is the danger that the whole Nigeria, everybody don't want to tell themselves the truth. Kolu is just running from Abuja. Lagos is running to. Is this not still Nigeria? Is it not the same Lagos that they are
moving the operation of some what do you call it, NNPC or so to Lagos as well. So they said it's going to remove all of the important institutions in Abuja, move them to Lagos, then finally relocate to Lagos. It's not moving the FCT out of Abuja, but Abuja will become like. Sure, you get
that's what I'm saying, Baba. When you remove the wheat from the shaft, what will remain again? The wheat. You get what I'm saying? When you remove the key distance, Abuja is just there for name now. You get what I mean?
I get them.
But the Lagos that is relocating, is it not the same Lagos
it is still the same Nigeria?
That repentant Boko Haram are seen as indigenous of Ademasho. Now they kind of told them that Al-Shabaab is already in Lagos. Now they kind of told them 4 years ago is broadcast. Do you understand? That's the reason why they are holding down the country, because they want presidency. Presidency that will buy you. Now you go carry the thing that will kill you. You know, Baba, as it is today, every Nigerian that gets sense, so that want to listen to us on this platform,
the truth,
break it up and save lives. That is the thing.
They don't do constitution amendment again. They don't do their pash and join right now. We said burn that trashy document, right? And begin the conversation around how we are going to go our separate ways. Or even if we are going to still be together, right? But they do pash right now.
Baba, can I tell you the danger there in that their document?
Tell us.
You know, this realization agenda started 1999 when Abu Salam, the Fulani hunchman, when they now organize few of them now in the army, generals organize and wrote that thing and say in the name of Nigeria.
We the people. Nibo, where?
Yes. Baba, that document you see is the thing that is holding everybody down.
100%.
And because of all these criminal governors, when they came in and saw the loopholes there that they can siphon money freely, because it's a decree document. You can do anything. Nobody will question you. Do you understand? They head on to it and begin to they continue to steal and steal and steal. You get what I mean?
I do.
Baba, as it is today, I've told you before on this platform that there's nothing like Nigeria army. You get what I'm saying? There's nothing like Nigeria army. There's nothing like Nigerian police as it stands today. Because all these things now, all these repentant Boko Haram are everywhere. Everybody's life is in danger. The only thing that can save your life now is to set up your own security in your own region. If you call it army, or fine. If you call it Moteku or vigilante, but let it be a standard security that we have this thing and have your own border. Everybody will have their own border. Do you understand? That is it. Without that, all these things you see that we are mixing up with terrorists everywhere in the name of one Nigeria, everybody will crash.
Eventually, if nothing is done.
Definitely. That's where it's going.
The Prince.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you so much. Thanks for helping me to amplify my voice as well. As all of you know, they had yours, right? The message is hitting home. God bless you, Prince. Take it easy and have a good one, Baba. So I have another caller on the line. We are gradually coming to the end of the broadcast. If you haven't really liked it, you should now. If you have liked the broadcast, don't do it again. Once is enough. Like once is okay. Hello there.
Hello there, my guy.
Baba.
This is One True Emperor.
God bless you. One True Emperor. is joining us again tonight, and I bet it's going to be a banger, like Martinelli would say, another banger. See, you don't get your own fans here with a demand that you must come here every now and then to remind them that if they no stand up, Baba, tell them.
Big power, big power. Omo, that's the best song in 2024, my brother. I want them to keep singing it. I want them to keep shouting it. They must sing it. Omo, na 8 years. Lagbaro long.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
8 years, 8 years, 8 years, 8 years. Oluwa, 8 years. Egbin Pawa, 8 years. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
If they don't want them, they would have to go out there and reject it. But if they are there saying, I reject it, reject it. You go print your own money.
They can't deny. Like that long 8 years, 8 years, 8 years, 8 years, 8 years, 8 years. A big power for 8 years. Like that long. Dollar 7. See,
they say what about other people that did not actually really, they did not support this guy?
Mayegun, I don't care. 8 years, Lagbara long. 8 years. I don't care. A big power, 8 years, Lagbara long. Guy, this is not a thing. This is a fact.
It's just
we have evidence, we have proof, we have data, we have statistics. I'm just adding the spiritual aspect to it.
But Adeboye said the problem is spiritual. But the level you are taking it to now is like it's going to be eternal. 8 years feels like 80 years.
See. I don't want to enter the pastorpreneurs today.
Right.
I don't want to enter there today, you know. But this one, the reason why I call, let us go for the rider today. The reason why I call there, now this Abure guy, the way this guy they shout, he just they explain. I know they see evidence.
You get you can't be like say the guy is self the but you know I didn't want him to over yarn. That's why I had to stop that video. It started sounding like
guy. See. My guy, he don't already over yarn.
He don't already.
We are asking you from 1 month to 1 month. You they tell me May, June, July. I say that guy they mad. They ask you when was she? When was she a signatory? When did you remove? You they tell me she they sign check for July. She they sign. And these are lawyers. These are educated people.
And then you can easily just play that card of, they are trying to come and attack Obi. That's why they are doing this to me. But leave Obi, talk your own. I beg, leave Obi go answer. You answer your own, Abi. Or you no answer at all. It's better you don't see anything at all than for you to come here and begin to make us look like we are just dummies you are talking to.
See, Maegu, do you know why? Maegu, do you know why I love what is going on right now?
Tell us.
Whether they believe us or not, evidences are showing that country will break, and it will break in my lifetime.
Amen.
Whether they like it or not.
Amen. In my lifetime too, because I deserve. If I die like this, Baba, if I die like this, and I can't enter this sky, this heaven, they're going to tell me, say, okay, because I did something, come out, they go fire. Baba, while I'm actually now, I'm a direct get heaven. Me with them born for Nigeria. I saw Sege.
Look,
I can't die. Nigeria still there. You see me? I see. You know what?
See,
tell me.
Look, my go. As Prince Jejeman said, he said, if Obi becomes president, where is the fighter land for Obi to plant seed and prosper? When even me myself, I know if we trust this youth to take over. Have you forgotten about Better Edu?
Well, there are many.
You want to tell me that you want to tell me that some obedience did not support Better Edu? Let them come here and deny. See, Maegu, the fact that I saw obedience still voting for Sango Odo, that is enough to tell me say Nigeria cannot work.
True emperor, you know they forget things in it. It's like every time you remember that, some people came out and defended that they didn't vote. They voted for Obi, but they went on to vote
They are here with me. They are here with me.
That thing they personally they personally they offer. Like you always, every time you remember, you're always like, I say people voted Sango-Olu.
See, Mayegun, there are 3 guys I don't talk to because of that thing right now. That have cut off my friendship, relationship with them. 3 of them. And we started in this Yankee together. I cut them off because it blows my mind. You talking about change. You talking about moving forward. You are saying that I don't have hope for a better Nigeria. You say Obi. Okay, I will ask you questions. Okay, if Obi is the president, who are you going to put as your senators? Who are you going to put as your House of Reps? Who are you going to put as your ministers? No. When Obi gets there, we'll sort that one out. I said, okay.
There are so many people who are actually like.
And you now come back. You spend thousands of dollars to go to that zoo and voted in that charade nonsense. You now came back and started vexing that APC stole mandate, and you now telling me that you voted for Sanwo-Olu, and you want me to feel pity for people. Mayegun, it will not be well with them.
He say, Ashe, Ami, and every other thing that they say.
See, Nigeria. See, waiting Abure they talk. Waiting be that one. Waiting be that woman. They just whatever her name is, they perform skits for Nigerians. Now skits they perform. Skits.
Sabinus, you know.
Sabinus.
But who is the real Sabinus? The people believe in them or they themselves.
Basket mouth and all of them. Basket mouth, then are waiting they do for us. They do Nollywood. Now Nollywood, Z1, now all of Labour Party gbogbo one they do for us. I say make we break up this country, save life. You see people on the internet space. Abure needs to come out and explain himself. When Labour Party has already exposed themselves, the fact that they allowed Pampers to have some airtime, to have some fame, that's why Labour Party has been exposed. Because if your party was organized, if your party is as diligent as you claim to be, come on, do you think somebody look at Pampers? Mayegun, look at somebody like a Pampers, hungry little scallywag, had fame. I'm not supposed to know somebody like a Pampers.
They sleep for Sheraton. He did grant interview from Sheraton Hotel, Abuja, to channels. Grant interview to Arise. He had his own DSS following him. I was like, a Pampers, Baba, waiting there now. I'm idiot. You're right.
And you want me to take your party seriously. Yeah. And you want me to take your party seriously.
Anyway, one true emperor.
And see, my girl, look here, let me tell you something. Labour Party is already finished. Let's just say the truth. I beg, Gbogbo my Biafrans, my Oduduwas, including the good Fulanis. Trust me, I know they are good Fulanis, so I will shout you out. I beg, Joe, I am on my knees. Let's break this shit to love. I swear to God, I know just only kneel down. I prostrate. I beg, make we break this thing up. Let's break this shit to love. And let us move on. My God bless you for all
once
you do.
True emperor. Another miss. If you like say you use half of your time to remind the god of karma, the nemesis, may punish everybody that is now kind of acting like say, they are surprised that this is happening in Nigeria. How come this? Even though they played a role. One true emperor, you've played your part. I will talk to you again. You know that. You have a good one, sir. Thank you so much. And that is where we are going to draw the curtains tonight. I would have taken extra call, but that can take us, overshoot us. And my caller may begin to feel like I'm like shooing them. And I don't like that. So let's wrap it up now. Thanks a lot for your time. And if you joined us midway, if you did not start with us, right? Remember, except you are watching Mayegun live. If you're watching a replay and you don't like the part where, where we normally kind of play this song to welcome everybody that's going to join us live, you can skip this broadcast to at least 7 minutes forward before you begin to watch it. The content is quite great if you joined us midway, okay? But if you have been with me all night, right, and you haven't really liked this broadcast, as I've asked a lot of you, pleaded to, that you should, so please do before you go. I will see you some other time. Until then, stay safe, good night, and a wonderful, wonderful night too. Odabo, Odaro.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun diary, diary politico.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú Ọ̀tà ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.